So these guys are beyond easy to wire. It's almost ridiculous. I think I did the 3 in about an hour. Once you get it down packed, it's very easy. And yeah, so I got some threaded rod, some washers, and some nuts to match all this. Now, I also kind of made a little weird mistake, I guess. I should have used all lefts or rights, where I've got 2 rights and 2 lefts. You can see the tabs for the positives. They're all in parallel right now, but these 2, the positives are up high, and those 2, the positives are down low. So it's not a big deal. I'll just end up keeping that group together and then this group together, and then they'll just connect in the middle. I think that would be the best solution. Yeah. That'll be alright. They're all sitting at 47 volts. Which is about 3.9 per cell. So that's pretty good. Good storage voltage. But yeah, I'm just gonna go from here now. And I'll be able to, this will be the first time I do this here with these packs, so once I get all the measurements, and I'll keep track of everything and how it's going to be, and then the next time I'll just cut those before I even put them in, so the next time I'll be getting way less steps. Pretty sure I'm just going to use this wire as well. It's good stuff. They've got it rated at 200 amps, 225 amp breaker or fuse on this, so I may put a fuse in it and a breaker. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet, but might as well use these because they already got some ends on them. Pretty much everything is fit to size already. Pretty sure it's close to a 4 gauge, so it's probably in millimeters though. So whatever equals that millimeters, I'll use this for here. Alright, so that's how I prep for this here. The first one's going to go on this piece of wood. I'm going to put the thing through, and then washer and a nut through all 4, tighten them up, set them on here, then start stacking. So I'm going to have to spin all the nuts through there. It's probably the biggest pain in the butt of the whole thing. But yeah, pretty straightforward really. And then once I get a size for the actual battery box, because I'm pretty sure this one's going to be a floor mounted one, so I'm going to make a base plate with bent metal, and then I'll weld some nuts right to it, and these will get screwed right into the nuts that I weld to the base plate. So got to get measurements. Once I get a template, I can kind of, keep track of everything, because I'll probably be making more of these. No matter what, I'll be making the base plates. If it's not, say, this 4.8 kilowatt hour, it might be a 10 kilowatt hour or whatever, 9.6 or whatever someone wants, but I'll put it all in one box kind of thing if someone wants this. I'd rather not parallel a bunch of these units when I could just make a unit from scratch that someone wants. If they want a 10, I'll give them a 10. If they want the 5, I'll give them a 5. If they want 15, I'll give them a 15, 20, so on, right? So we'll see. I think I could do a 20 kilowatt hour bank, no problem, with this kind of setup here. Anyways, thanks guys. Alright, there's number 1 in. Not too bad. Doesn't wiggle. I got them kind of leveled so it doesn't flop around. Should actually tape around that there, that case, so it never comes off, kind of thing. We'll see. I do have to be able to reach all the wires as well. I'm not sure which side. Probably that side, I guess. It's the easiest. Just gonna keep them all tucked down and bent over. Try not to pull off any of them tapes when you're doing this. I'll just kind of keep stacking them. I got the nuts on washers on there already for the next row. Can probably have them, you know, a couple inches up. See how it looks. May go up a bit further. I know there is. This does go a little lower than, so I don't want them too tight. Probably want about a ½ inch so I can fit a good baby finger in there. So we'll see. Also maybe up that high so I can open them. I don't know 100% yet what I'm gonna do. Still in the process of the first build here, so once I get the builds under control and know exactly what I want, the next ones are going to be much easier. It's just the first one that takes a while. Anyways, thanks guys. So, this the first connection is made to the BMS wires. So you see how much lead I'll have here. So, it's a good 1.5 feet. So, that may end up going on top. I may put it on top. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. But from this point, you're going to know if you've made any mistakes. So, thanks. So, this is a good way to tell if your cells are balanced. The negatives on the negatives hooked up, and this is the first cell group. So, if you get a spark or any kind of spark there, you'll know that there's. Try and balance, buddy. So this is my finish at day 1. Oh, whatever, day 2. Who knows? Guess the taking apart the other pack wasn't a real full day. It was maybe an hour. So maybe into it a full day so far. I got 4 of them paralleled, 4 cell groups, and hooked to the BMS lead as well, all soldered. I shrink wrapped everything, or whatever, heat shrinked it, but I did use wire on some of the, or tape, electrical tape on top of the heat shrink on a lot of them. It's very thin, this heat shrink. I'm not a big fan, but I will be zip tying everything together so it'll all kind of look a little prettier. But a note to self, these plastic covers don't belong on there. That's just not worth it. That's why I'm building a case around it anyway, so you're not supposed to put your fingers in there. It'll be sealed, so no animals can get in there, nothing like that. Anyways, thanks guys. So I got this mess all wired up here, the BMS. I did put a couple low, and I forgot I should have put them all up high, but whatever. It gives me plenty of room here. It's a good 1.5 feet. I can go up top if I really need to. I'm gonna start cleaning this up, this mess here, and then I'm gonna start working on the sides. No sparks, nothing bad. The only confusion I had was the 6s and the 9s. Some of them came through the same hole, so I couldn't tell which was which, so I had to test them again. Well, I had to just test the 6s, so the 9s would work out no matter what. Anyways, thanks. So, I'm just going to use this wire. It's a very tight 6 gauge on here. I got a box of these things, so 6 gauge, perfect hole. So I'm just going to put one on each end and then cut a little slice out of there and add another one with one on it, the lugs there. And then I'll just make like a harness to go from there to there on each side. Be a positive one and a negative one, and then from there I'll go 2 wires to split the difference. Yeah, I have to figure it out still. Looks like a mess. I gotta zip tie it all together still too. Basic stuff, just takes a long time. This is like day 2 probably on this thing. Maybe even close to day 3, I guess. Put in a full day yesterday. Pretty much a full day today. So, anyways, thanks guys. So you can see what I'm gonna do here for the bus bars. It's just gonna be a wire parallel connector. So I got one on there and one on there, and then that will go in there. And then the next ones I'm gonna solder a piece of wire the same as this that goes, say, from there to there, and same with there, will go to there. So it's gonna be like a custom kind of bus bar setup here. And I'm just gonna kind of solder another piece to that, and then I'll figure out a way to tape it up nice so it doesn't contact anything. But I figure this is the easiest way. I think this is a 1mm wire. It doesn't say on it what it is, but it fits my number 6 lugs, so it's very tight actually on the number 6. So, and then I'll have 2 connection points, say like one here and one here that goes to the breaker, and that will actually split the wires between the 2. I'm only rating this for 80 amps output. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes after. Thanks guys. Alright, so this is kind of how it is. It turned out not so pretty, but it will do. It's gonna get fully taped, but it is on there pretty good, both of them. Yeah, I think this is probably the best way to do it, just because I don't know, I don't want to overlap a bunch of small little loops and then double, you know. I'd rather just have one connection. Plus there is going to be the actual wires that come off this as well, so it's almost thinking I could solder them right to the, like, but there's no point. I don't need to solder it. This will be the, say, the red or the positive side will go to a breaker, and the negative side is going to go to the BMS. So, but it's going to get fully taped with electrical tape all the way. I was even thinking maybe something like whatever, the wire protectors, that whatever that shit is there. Maybe be able to use some of this stuff here. Just put that back on and tape it up in some spots. And I'll do like the T sections, and then connect little pieces of it and then tape it as well, so it has a little bit more protection. Anyways, thanks guys. I'm gonna keep on this. Try and get this hooked up today, the BMS hooked up today. Might even set up a little solar system so I can do some charging. Yeah, anyways, thanks guys. Well, I think that turned out quite nice. A little bit better anyways. I think it'll do the trick. Anyways, thanks guys. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how that's gonna turn out there. It's not bad. This one's a little bit weird. You can't really get a good bend on it when it's only 1.5 inches long. But that's okay. There's going to be a box going around this whole unit, so pretty happy with it, to tell you the truth. And then say, I don't know, from here and here, we will, those two wires will go to one point at the breaker, and then on the other side of the breaker, we'll go to that post. Yeah. And I was actually thinking about building a box inside, like, you know what I mean, inside the unit. So, because I know once in a while, the breakers, when they trip, they put some sparks. That's one thing I noticed about that big battery that Lithium Solar had, the big battery that he got from them. The breaker is open, and the batteries are a little flammable compared to like the lithium iron phosphate. And that's the last thing you need is a fire. It doesn't matter if it's in a protected box or not. Nobody wants to lose their battery bank. Nice. Thanks, guys. This is how I set this up. I haven't welded this one yet. So it's pretty flexible. Even like you can twist it and do whatever after. But I'm just using the torch, solder. Just try not to burn too much of the plastic, obviously. But you're gonna do some anyways. Anyways, thanks, guys. So there's number one on this negative line. You want to make sure it sucks into the wire underneath as well. But I think that's really nice. Anyways, thanks. I like how this one turned out. It's really nice. I used the cloth that was on the Honda wire too, so it's got some extra protection in there. It's turned out pretty good. There's a flash. I'm probably just going to go from here, like one to the BMS, and from down here to the BMS, and then, yeah, let's go from there kind of thing. I might disconnect, here, see the BMS here. So I might remove this wire here, this 4-gauge wire, and just bolt on a couple of, I don't know, 8-gauge wires or something like that, that will go to the breaker, or no, they'll go to the battery, and then this side is just going to be to the terminal. So I probably just keep the 4-gauge wire on there. The breaker's only rated for 80 amps, so 4-gauge wire is more than enough wire to push 80 amps. Yeah. Anyways. Thanks, guys. This is how we're going to get the BMS on here. I think the main heating part of this BMS is like in this area. So, like the switching and all the MOSFETs are pretty centered. Not that these things get super hot anyways. And this only balances at 60 milliamps, so it really doesn't have any balance capability. But these cells are also dead on. So I got the zip tie going through there. Pretty much just place it on here and have the nuts going up. And I do need to have the plug at the bottom so I can keep my B- on this side. And yeah, I'm just gonna got my leads there that'll just get bolted on to the BMS first and then terminate on the battery. But I think she's doing pretty good. Plug reaches, no problem. More than enough. Everything's working out pretty good on this so far. This one isn't as pretty, but it does the trick. Pretty sure that's about all I'm going to need. It is just paralleling, and I'm going to have multiple connection points, so it's really overkill in my opinion, especially the breaker's 80 amp breaker. So I'm gonna have to figure out where I want all the breaker and the positive and negative terminal. It's almost thinking about having the positive negative terminal close to the positive here on the outside. Then you can just run a gutter or something and you don't have to spread it so far apart. I think that's a better idea. I'm both in the same kind of location. Anyways, thanks guys. It gets messy when I start getting into it. Thanks. So pretty much I've left off here. I got the BMS hooked up on this side. The wires, they'll go to the negative post. So that'd be the main negative. And just got that with some, a little bit of Velcro on the spots, but it's come off. But I'm gonna put the zip tie in once I figure out where I'm gonna put the temperature sensors. Probably just stuff them in there somewhere. Yeah, pretty straightforward there. So I'm also working on the case now. Just a quick drawing of what I'm doing here. I'm gonna get the pieces all bent. So I'll have two pieces like this, and they'll just kind of go inside this box. Well, I was thinking the top one will go outside, the bottom one will go inside. You'll see. I think should be alright. And there'll be some angle brackets also that will hold this one to a wall. I think that'd be cool. Anyways, pretty straightforward stuff. Just cutting, draw some lines after I get my height. Anyways, thanks guys. So these are the pieces that will be the casing for this. I'm also going to have a couple of angle brackets on the top and the bottom, so 4 total. 2 brackets will go the L shape this way, tops, and then the L shape down on the bottom. It's going to be a wall mounted unit, so yeah, it would just be a 2" by quarter, 2" by 3/16 flat bar, and I'll get it bent on a 90, and I'll put a gusset between. So figure it out. And I'm not sure what I want to do. I left a little bit of extra room on the top, so you see it. I made that at 23 inches. So I'm going to put the breaker on the top as well, and the voltmeter. Not sure if I want to keep it in the box or keep the box and just put the meter right inside. Not sure yet. I did do a pretty nice job on the cut of this box, but then it's just something else that sticks out. So I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. And the breaker's going to go sideways. So it's a pretty beefy breaker, but that's going to go sideways up in here somewhere. And then the meter will be beside it up in here as well. So I do want to put a box around the breaker, like a metal box with wire holes, just because I do notice when these guys flip sometimes they shoot sparks out, and I don't want any sparks transferring to the battery area. I was thinking about just putting another plate inside and covering everything with the plate, even a plastic sleeve or some kind of, maybe that red material, that fiberglass insulated stuff here. Still have quite a bit of it. It's just like a 16 fiberglass sheet. I may put that in as well. Yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. I just been busy doing everything else. I'm working on a pole mounted double solar panel swiveling adjustable mount for a friend. And yeah, he wants to do an upgrade on his system. Just a couple more panels and another battery. If you remember back, I did a little cabin in the woods kind of thing. He's called me back again for more, so get a lot of repeat customers, which is probably a good thing. It means I'm doing something right. Anyways, thanks guys.